Stephen and Ben's dad, and this is my twin brother, David, who will speak later. And again, yes, at Stephen's wedding I mentioned how far everybody came. Well, we're in the middle of the Pacific. Arjun told me not to drink.
Hey! Take your time, you're good! Take your time! You're doing great.
And you know, I was telling all my relatives from Ireland and all, we're 2,500 miles from the nearest mainland. There's no more remote archipelago, and here we all are. It's, you know,
Arjun's gonna win.
Brother Kipling says, east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. But that's not true in Hawaii. They meet, and it's a beautiful island in paradise, and our families have met, and that's very beautiful too, although we're all becoming Westerners, of course. Taking a good break, Teresa, I keep saying Teresa. Teresa. Billy didn't introduce us at first. He kind of kept her hidden, and Michelle said I have to kind of spy a bit. So I saw them way up the block, and I'm looking, and what's she like? What's she like? You know, in our house. I said, well, she seems to be an exotic female from the east. Or maybe, so then we met her at the restaurant, and she came in and she kind of was nice, very sophisticated. Maybe I can't talk to her, so sophisticated. But she sat down, and we're known to talk. Me and my brother, we talk. But me and Teresa talked all night, and my wife says, she's like someone we've known all our life, you know, and you guys, everybody knows Teresa, that's true. And the other good thing was, Michelle said, you have an ally for dessert. She'll never say no for dessert. You'll never say no. And of course, Billy, it's interesting. I was going to get up here and say Billy was such a good boy and he never did anything wrong, but I've heard a few things, so I can we'll cross that one out. But, you know, a lot of people, they brag about their son, maybe. I had an uncle from Ireland who said his dad, not the people here, said every time he got a black eye, they'd give him a shilling. Every time he got a bloody nose, and he was so proud. But I can't say that about Billy because he never gets in a fight. And, you know, and I could brag about his academic, you know, and athletic achievements, but as my relatives know, what I'm most proud about, and I tell them is not just Billy, all my kids, not just because we raised them, but they come across as like a good guy. Lawyers have told me about Billy. He's just a good guy, kind guy. So 2 stories I tell about him to show what he was like. At 8 years old or 9, we're walking downtown, and there's like, it's rainy, and there's some, no, it wasn't rainy at that time, but there's some bum on the street. I call it bum, but he's, you know, a homeless guy. That's right, homeless. Near a tunnel, and Billy sees him, and I'm going to make a lesson, and I say, Billy, if you don't do your homework, you're not going to like that guy. So we get back, and then it's really rainy and windy and cold, and Billy's so worried. Oh, I'm kind of worried about that person on the street. You know, I was almost laughing, there's so many, but no, he was so kind-hearted. So we didn't run back and give the guy, you know, food or anything.
Did you do that?
Well, we didn't, but another time we were at Mountain or something, and we got the little turtles, and we had all these turtles. We brought them home, and the Billy's playing. Then I said I'm going to get rid of. I think I said I'm going to flush them down the toilet or something.
What were their names?
Billy was. There we go. Pull it up. Okay, there we go. It's always twin brother, always telling me what to do. But that's too loud. Anyway, Billy said, no, take them back to the ocean. And I put them in a big bucket, and I drove out. And I did for a second think I'll just throw them down the drain and lie to Billy. But, you know, I couldn't do it. He would have known. I drove all the way down to Venice or something like that. I walked out and I put the, put them
Turtles.
Put them in the ocean. Yeah, throw them in. No, and I'm saying, so we're thrilled, you know, that Teresa, it's not just the first impression we could talk to her. After we knew her and we've talked to her, she's really, you all who know her, she's one of the nicest persons you ever met. So as parents, this is the woman, the girl that accepts Billy. So we're thrilled. The people who are parents and the ones who are going to become you don't know this. Stephen probably didn't know it till he had a child, but you have a person whose happiness is more important than your own, and you love them more than yourself. And this is the time I can say it. I'm never going to say it probably again. No, I'll say it again, but you know, here we're all fucking drugs, and the drink is gone. So, I'm crying. I know. Yeah, he tricked me once though with Ben. Ben does sort of, just quick, very about Ben, things like, he plugged on my Facebook, he wrote, I like to twerk. I didn't know what that was. And all my friends said, hey Andrew, man, you're cool, you like to twerk. When I found out, I dropped the atom bomb, I put his baby pictures on Facebook. And then he defriended me. He just kicked me out. But one day, I didn't want to do this, but Billy tricked me. He said, you know, Dad, Ben keeps telling me back in Florida, you never write, you never talk to him, you never say you miss him at Christmas. So he tricks me, and I don't want to say this, you know, saying to Ben, although I feel this, but I didn't. I go, oh, Ben, I miss you. And Billy's laughing. He says, Ben didn't really say that.
What about Steven?
Well, Steven's a very great daddy, and he once said to me, a few weeks ago, he didn't understand once when some big kid was very mean to Ben, and I just was super angry. He did something that was very, not bad, but I said really threatening things. But Steven at that time was mad. How could you? He said, I understand now. You love your youngest son like I love Kai, and so whether they're 2 years old or 30, they're still our little babies.
Say it again.
Now, one last thing, Arjun told me not to.
Take your time, you're good.
No, he said not to make a list, and I don't make a list, but I did. I wrote something on my hand. Oh yeah, I did forget something. A couple of months ago, or less than a month ago or something, I saw Billy didn't have Teresa on his screensaver, had a little doggy. And I said, Billy, get that off, oh man, you watch out. So, but then, no problem. Teresa had her little doggy. I don't have taken him off screensaver. So, but I realized having him on screensaver doesn't show how much you love him. Billy's speech shows how much he loves Teresa. Yes. So, you know, we couldn't be happier that this has happened to Billy. It couldn't be any better. So let's just raise a toast. To the two we love the most, Billy and Teresa.